morning, everybody. Good morning, students. How are you all doing? I trust everything is in perfect condition. And today we'll be making a wrap dress, a wrap gown. And it's going to be a wrap gown, a free wrap gown without a half length. There's a wrap gown you do, and you have half length on it. And there's another you do, there will be no half length. So the one we'll be doing today is without half length. I've already cut my fabric, and this is actually the back part. This method saves fabric more than the other one, more than the one you have to cut for front before cutting for back. This method will save your fabric better. So I've already cut my fabric for the back. This is my zip allowance of 1.5 inches. This is my starting point here. And then this is the full length of my dress. I've marked out the full length of my dress. You can see it. So the next thing to do, I'm going to take my measurements. From my starting point here, I'll take my chest line. I'm working with a chest line of 18 inches. Sorry, I'm working with a chest line of 16 inches. And then 16 divided by 2 will give me 8. So 8 becomes my chest line. So right now, we'll take our chest line measurement here. We have taken our measurements. These are the vertical measurements. This is our starting point. And then we have our chest line, the under bust, half length, hip line, and then the full length, your seam allowance. So the next thing to do, we are going to take our nipple to nipple measurement. The nipple to nipple is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5 plus half inch is 4. So here's our nipple to nipple measurement. Connect it. Okay, to take our darts, we've connected our nipple to nipple. You can see it here. So this is my half length. I'm going to take my darts from my half length, half inch on both sides. And our back dart starts from the chest line or 9 inches if it's a standard chest line. So, but I normally do it this way. I come down with 1 inch so that it will not be too sharp. So, connect my dart. And then, this is not a half length dress. This is not a half cut dress. It extended down to the full length. So to take that for this one again, from this full length here, I'm going to come up with 2 to 3 inches. 3 is the standard, so I'll take it like this. And now I'll connect this to this one. Connect it to this one like this. Then I also connect this one to this point like this. So this is just how to connect your dart in case you're making a full length dress. So we have connected our dart. You can see it here. So the next thing to do now is to take my shoulder measurement. I'm working with a shoulder of 16. I'm working with a shoulder of 16 inches. 16 divided by 2. Shoulder of 15. 15 divided by 2 will give me 7.5 plus half an inch, 8. So here is it. You're free to mark this 8 inches here as well so that you can get a straight line. So I'll connect it now. This becomes my armhole line. And you know, it goes like this too. The next thing to do is to take my neck measurement. I'm working with a neck of 3 inches. And then I'll take the length of my neck. Since it's a back, I will use 2.5. And I'll connect it as well. So I'll connect my neck. take my shoulder slant of 1 inch and connect as well. I'm also going to connect my armhole. This is the back armhole, so I don't need to add any allowance or to get the center point. I'll just connect it. But if you don't know how to get the curve, just measure 1.5 inch from this point, and then from here you curve it so that it will be easier for you. So here is it. And then I've connected my back armhole. The next thing now is to get the side measurements. From my zip line, I'm going to take my bust measurement. I'm, I'm working with a bust of, okay, we are taking the side measurement. This is our chest line. On the chest line, we take the bust measurement. We've taken ours and marked it at 9.5. And then on the half length, we'll take our half length measurement. Whatever you get, remember you have a dart here. So you add the dart to whatever you get. Okay, I have a dart of 1 inch here. So I actually had about 8 point something, 8.25 or so. So I added my 1 inch dart, which is this point here. Then back to move down to the half length. At the half length, remember we also have a dart here. So this dart should be added to whatever you get. And then on the hip, it's actually hip divided by 4. Your hip measurement divided by 4. So whatever you get, add this dart to it. Then whatever we got from the hip measurement, we subtracted 1 inch from it. Since it's going to be a pencil dress, so we subtracted 1 inch to get this here. Now we are going to connect everything. You don't need it to be pointed. So after connecting, if you don't have a curve ruler, just curve it with your free hand. So make sure it is not pointed. So here's what we have. But remember, we've not added our allowance. So I'm going to add about 2 inches seam allowance all the way. Then I'll connect it. So here's what we have. And with this now, we are going to cut it out so that we can trace on the front part. So I've cut it out. I've cut out to get this. This is my zip line. I notched it also down here. And then I also notch my hip area and my half length area so that I can match it with the front part easily. So this is the back of our dress. We are going to cut the front part now. This is the front part of the fabric, and I've placed the back that we just cut. I've placed the back on on top a folded material, top another folded material, and then I gave an allowance of 8 inches. You can use between 8 to 9 inches. Here's the front, and then here's the front. This is the front fabric, and this is the back. So this is the line that I used to mark out my 8 inches seam allowance. Here's the 8 inches, as you can see it. So what I'll do now, I'm going to reconnect. So I'm going to reconnect everything, the neckline, the shoulder, the armhole. I'll reconnect it, including this side part. But one thing I need to do, see how I'm doing it. I'll mark this shoulder line like this. But this neckline, I'll mark it just at this point. I don't need to connect the whole of the neckline, no. And I'll also, okay, I just have to mark it at this point, that's all. And then for the armhole, I'll connect it here so that when I remove this one, I'll reconnect the front armhole. So that's all I need to do here. I've done that. This is my shoulder line. Then I marked this point here, the point where the neckline starts. Then I also mark my armhole here. Right now, I'm going to remove this and I'll trace what I have. I've cut out the side here. So we want to connect the neckline so that we can get our wrap. Um, from this shoulder line, I marked 6 inches for my neck. So I'll connect this neck now. This is my neck. If you want it more than 6 inches, you can still make it possible. I'm going to take this now. From this neck point, I'll take this line. I'll mark a straight line down to this point. Remember, I came up with 3 inches. From down here, I came up with 3 inches. So I'm going to connect from this neckline point down to this 3 inches here. So I've marked my straight line from this neckline down to the full length. I'm going to cut it out now from this point up here. Then for the armhole, you connect your armhole the same way you do for the front neck, from the front armhole. I'm going to reconnect my armhole because front armhole and back armhole are not the same. So from this point, I'll mark half of my armhole, which is 4.5 inches. So at this 4.5 inches, I'm going to take 0.5 inch from this point, and then I'll reconnect my armhole like this, and then down, just like this. So I'm going to cut it out now. Here's my slant. Now cut from here. All I'll do is to notch my 6 inches, to mark 6 inches. If it's 7 you want to use, if it's 8, whichever one you want to use, just mark it and notch out. Then at this point, I'm going to open it up. So here's what I have. I'll also, okay. So here's what we have for the front. You can see it. This is the uh, front cut. So we'll be cutting out the lining for this. Then you stitch this one separate with the lining. Stitch this one to separate with the lining, and then you join both of them together. If you need to fix your dart, attach your dart on both parts. Attach your dart. Okay, so that's just all for this cutting. I'll cut the lining and then turn it up and show you how we did it. And here's the back part. That's what we have for the back. We also cut lining, respectively for the two sides of the back. So after that, I'll now show you how to stitch it.